Today we're going over 6 things either removed or changed in BattleGlide VR. Without further ado, let's get started. Before we had the criminals we know and fight today, the criminals looked like this. Some had blue gloves, some had super big armor, and the eye part of the helmet that some criminals wear was more orange, while nowadays it's more red. I personally like how the criminals look now, but it's crazy to look back at how they used to look. Before cars were interactable, they looked very different from the cars we have now. There were a lot of different type of cars we don't have today, like trucks. You could still attach NPCs like you can now to the cars, but you couldn't pick them up or throw them. The stealth missions used to look very different. I mean, just look at early versions of the bank. Something else that's different about the stealth missions is they used to have vents. Why were these removed? Out of everything we're going to talk about today, this is one of the ones I wish we still had. The gloves we have today are very detailed, and you can tell they're gloves. But before we had those gloves, we had these gloves, which look less like gloves and more like your actual hands. Is it just me, or does it look like the old gloves had longer fingers than the new ones? The NPCs in BattleGlide are some of the best NPCs in any VR game. They're interactable, they have facial expressions, and they can fight against criminals. But not too long ago, they weren't interactable, they didn't fight against criminals. In fact, they were just blue NPCs walking around the streets. They kind of look like ghosts, and the game probably wouldn't have as much life as it does now if they looked like this. But something I wish didn't change was hand-to-hand combat. That's right, criminals used to use both guns and their fist when fighting you. My one question to BattleGlide is, why? Why would you remove this? I personally didn't play when hand-to-hand combat was a thing, so I don't know the full story. Maybe there was a couple glitches with it, or I don't know. Well, there you have it. That was 6 things removed from BattleGlide VR. Which of these do you want back most? Comment below, and hopefully I'll see you next time.